Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now before I get started I just want to give a quick shout out to a man by the name of Jezzy, a up and coming YouTuber whose content I've really been enjoying over the past few weeks. He's got tons of videos on his channel and I'll leave a link down below in the description if you'd like to check that out. I'd also like to thank the following people for contributing to the Patreon page and therefore helping out with the channel. So thanks guys, and let's get into today's video. Now this is my GeForce FX5200. If you're a regular viewer, you'll remember that it was my GPU of choice for my stupidly cheap $2 PC build. It ran Half-Life 2 and Far Cry just fine, but I think it's got more to give. And today we've stuck it in a Core 2 quad system with 4GB of DDR 400 memory, thanks to the help of the Conroe 865PE motherboard from ASRock. So what can this 128MB, 250MHz GPU do? And was it worth the 25 Great British pence that I paid for it? If you're American, that's about 30 cents, and for those of you using euros, that's about 29 cents. The price of a single loose baking potato at my local supermarket is 30 pence, just for reference. So let's get into it and see if I made the right choice in buying this over a potato. Some quick limitations to point out of this 2003 graphics card are that it only supports up to DX9 and you won't be able to run anything modern on it. It is very power efficient though and requires no external power connectors. Time for some games. Call of Duty 2 first with 1024x768 and the medium graphics settings. Because I'm recording externally today, what you see on screen is pretty much exactly what you get. An actually okay 32 FPS. When the action heats up it may start to struggle, dropping into the low 20s and maybe even teens, but it soon picks right back up again and those drops didn't hinder my gameplay experience too much. San Andreas next, and surprisingly we stuck with the 1024x768 resolution and saw about 27 FPS. This was actually a lot better than I thought, but bear in mind that any advanced settings like anti-aliasing were turned off. If you wanted to drop down to 800x600, then you could enable the high settings, but I'd recommend the higher resolution and lower settings because it seems a lot sharper and easier on the eyes despite the lower frame rate. Now, who's up for a bit of racing? Need for Speed Underground 2 runs at about 25 FPS with 800x600 and medium settings. Although a few more FPS would be ideal for the fast-paced nature of this game, 25 was acceptable considering the hardware we're working with, and I'd happily complete my race with it any day. Okay, so we tried Team Fortress 2 last, just to see if it would run, and to do so, we had to keep everything at 800x600 with the lowest settings possible. I got a couple of minutes into the game and the low frame rate did become quite an unfortunate disadvantage, and I'm hardly the best player even when the game is running smoothly. So, there we have it. After using this card for the day and looking around a few forums, it seems this thing was pretty hated among the gaming community. It seems as though it was never considered good or even average all those years ago, and I suspect it's the Q6600 that's really helped it out today. So there we have it. If I had to choose between the aforementioned baking potato and this card, I'd definitely choose the GPU, because it wasn't the worst experience I've ever had, and at the price I can't complain. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I'll see all of you in the next one.